8 habits of upper-class people that will change your life. We adore the fantasy that true class is locked behind a gate, guarded by butlers, hidden in crests on antique silver. It soothes us to think, well, I wasn't born with a marble staircase. What chance do I have? The unglamorous truth. Almost none of the charm we envy is genetic. It's learned, rehearsed, refined through humiliations, grandmother's scoldings, and a stubborn refusal to be ordinary. The good news, you can start today. No titled ancestor required. All you need is a stubborn appetite for self-restraint and the courage to practice while the world celebrates chaos. Pour yourself something proper, Darjeeling in porcelain, a discreet whiskey if you're alone, never both at once, and settle in. Here are 8 habits that separate the genuinely upper class from the nouveau riche show ponies still posing for clout. Some may sting. Good. 1. Move like time serves you. Observe any well-bred matriarch gliding through Heathrow's first-class lounge. She might be 90 minutes behind schedule and still drifts along as if the plane will politely wait for her pearls to catch up. Contrast this with the common civilian, sweating, muttering expletives, elbowing innocent grannies aside to reach a gate that's already boarding. Real class means you command time. You do not squeal apologies. You appear 5 minutes late with an air so tranquil that no one dares scold you. You do not hustle, you glide. And you never fling your arms around when telling a story. Elegance has no need for windmill dramatics. Queen Elizabeth II, rest her poised soul, once faced an entire parade gone wrong due to pouring rain. She never dashed for cover. She stood, rain sliding off her hat, calm as stone. The crowd, drenched and miserable, admired her more than ever. Be the queen in a downpour. Practice today. Reduce your walking speed by 10%. Square your shoulders. If someone bumps you in a crowd, don't flinch. They'll remember your calm. You'll feel bulletproof. 2. Wear clothes that mock the idea of trends. Let's be honest. Fast fashion is the death rattle of dignity. The genuinely polished do not flit from TikTok microtrends to next season's disposable neon horror. They buy once, wear forever, mend when needed, and treat their wardrobe like an old friend rather than a fling. Consider how Ralph Lauren built an empire dressing people to look like American aristocracy, even though he himself wasn't born one. He simply understood that tweed, navy blazers, well-fitted trousers, and brown leather never broadcast desperation. They whisper continuity. Next time you're tempted by a loud, brand-plastered thing, imagine bumping into your worst enemy at a funeral in it. Would you survive the photo? If not, leave it on the rack. Edit your closet. Neutral palettes, sturdy fabrics, well-loved shoes. And if your bank account groans, remember, one well-cut coat outclasses 20 cheap trends any day. 3. Talk less, mean more. The nouveau riche babbler and the truly polished have one glaring difference. The former tries to fill silences with their resume. The latter treats conversation like fencing, a quick, precise dance, never brute force. Picture this. You compliment a fake, refined person's necklace. They'll launch into how it's vintage Cartier, their ex bought it, and how it's just so basic now. Exhausting. A genuinely upper-class soul smiles and says, "Thank you. It's a favorite. moves on. Elegant economy. Famous example. Cary Grant once asked how he managed to charm everyone so easily. He said, "I pretend to be a gentleman, and eventually I become one." He also rarely over-explained anything. Follow suit. Practice. Eliminate filler words. Be comfortable with silence. Let your eyes and tone do half the talking. If you must disagree, do it so politely that your opponent questions whether they were, in fact, wrong all along. 4. Treat private matters like religion. Modernity has mistaken oversharing for intimacy. Social media vomits heartbreaks, feuds, and breakups hourly. Meanwhile, those with old-school polish guard secrets like family relics, not because they're perfect saints, but because discretion feels deliciously powerful. Imagine you're dining beside an old money dowager who knows half the royal family's secrets, and yet she smiles blandly when asked for juicy details. That is real allure. Do the same. Next time someone digs for your drama, smile, shrug, and say, "Ah, that's not very interesting." Then change the subject. Boring them is far more effective than feeding their hunger. Secrets taste better kept. 5. Smile at chaos, then fix it quietly. Here's the iron rule. Nothing ruins your mystique faster than a public meltdown. The genuinely classy survive ruined soufflés, spilled cocktails, or surprise ex at the gala with the same reaction. A dry grin and a silent vow to fix it later. They know panic is contagious and calm is equally viral. When you stay serene, everyone else settles down too. Picture Jackie Kennedy in Dallas, 1963. The world literally imploded around her. Yet she stayed composed, protected her husband's legacy, and carried a nation's grief without dissolving on live TV. You do not need to face assassinations to channel this steel. Practice with lesser tragedies. Coffee on white pants, a no-show dinner guest, a missed flight. Your mantra: never let them see you flinch. 6. Culture is an appetite, not a weapon. Fake refinement loves to wield high culture as a social bludgeon. Quoting Tolstoy they never read, raving about obscure galleries they never visited, bragging about their taste in Bordeaux when they secretly prefer boxed wine. True class approaches culture like a buffet, curious, selective, and never bloated. They enjoy opera if it moves them, pop music if it thrills them, poetry if it soothes them. They ask questions without fear of looking clueless, because curiosity is far sexier than smugness. To copy this, read widely, but don't flaunt. Drop one amusing historical tidbit at dinner, then stop. Nobody wants a monologue about Impressionism when they're trying to eat the main course. Culture should season you, not suffocate everyone else. 7. Host like a secret mastermind. Nothing reveals your social class faster than how you treat guests. The fake, refined panic, over-apologize, and chain themselves to the kitchen while neglecting everyone else. The genuinely polished host makes the ordeal look like a minor hobby. Calm, attentive, and slightly mischievous. They prepare simple food, ensure glasses never go empty, and manage awkward guests with surgical skill. They know exactly who to seat beside whom to guarantee good stories and minimal conflict. When disaster strikes, burnt hors d'oeuvre, spilled sauce, your dog steals the roast, they laugh it off. Guests remember the laughter, not the mishap. If you have a crumb of ambition, master one fail-proof dish, stock an extra bottle of decent wine, and never, ever let your phone interrupt your hosting presence. 8. Evolve so quietly they barely notice until it's too late. The final, exquisite habit. Relentless, subtle self-upgrading. The refined never announce a new era or a glow-up. They simply become more interesting every year, so discreetly that old rivals barely recognize them by the next reunion. They read books outside their worldview, test hobbies they're terrible at, question their old assumptions, and update their tastes, all without blasting it on social feeds for dopamine likes. The result? They remain agelessly relevant, while others fade into stale anecdotes about back in college glory days. Do this tonight. Pick one dusty book you'd usually ignore, or watch a foreign film without subtitles, or chat politely with someone you secretly dismiss. Grow when nobody's watching. That's real power, the secret behind all of it. Now, here's the unspoken truth. All the name-dropping, logo-flashing posers can't stomach. True upper-class habits are boring if you only do them to show off. The magic happens when you weave them into your bones so deeply they become second nature. When moving slowly, speaking precisely, dressing beautifully, and staying calm feel like your default, not your costume. And when you slip up, which you will, being human, you don't panic. You adjust, chuckle, and carry on. Because true class doesn't pretend to be perfect. It pretends nothing rattles it. Your turn. Which habit have you mastered? Which still exposes your inner chaos? Be honest. Confession is chic here. If you savored this scandalously honest stroll through real refinement, be gracious. Tap the like button, subscribe to Classy Manners, and treat yourself to something timeless tonight. A good book, a calm walk, or simply 5 minutes of silence nobody can interrupt. Until next time, walk slower, speak softer, guard your secrets fiercely, and let the frantic world wonder how you make it look so easy. And of course, don't forget to slay.